Hello guys, these days I restarted using 101 weiqi, and one thing that really surprised me there was the 4x4 tsumego category and how deep they can be. Like there is way more depth than you might expect. You often need to use a lot of very advanced techniques, especially the Ishinoshita under the stones techniques. I sometimes think back to when I was at a Go club in Europe, and one of the guys really hated when we taught beginners on a 9x9 board. He would always recommend a 6x6 board because he thought 9x9 was too jarring for beginners. And I kind of agree with him, but after reading this book, I'm kind of frightened by the 4x4 board as well. It's way more complex than I expected. Well, anyways, going back to 101 weiqi, I think a lot of interest in this format, this size, came from a Chou book that he wrote with his very young son. I think he was trying to teach Go to, or maybe teach advanced techniques to his son. While doing so, maybe he stumbled upon way crazier than expected tsumegos. For example, in this first tsumego, we can see that black cannot connect here, otherwise it gets captured with everything, and the same thing goes here. On a 4x4, usually you don't have that many options, so yeah, that kind of feels easier, but since you can capture, recapture, it kind of gets complicated sometimes. Often, it often gets complicated. I don't know if these problems will come up when you play a 4x4 game so often, but we'll see some minority Tsumegos, yeah. Yeah, maybe the only two options here would be this one, but then I guess white can just capture, and white has two eyes now and black has nothing. So the last option is here, and it's a double shortage of liberties. So it's kind of an advanced technique, I think. You don't teach or learn this earlier than maybe 8Q, maybe, I don't know, maybe 10Q. So if white captures here, everything gets captured. And if white captures here, everything gets captured here. Yeah, this first problem is already not that easy. I don't think. Yeah, you don't have many options, but still, I don't think it's easy to read for somebody who doesn't know the double shortage of liberties technique. So this is the Tsumego that started it all for me, because after solving this one, I kind of went like, wow, this is crazy. On this board, this kind of crazy stuff can happen. It's not that crazy if you know more advanced techniques, but it's very surprising still, I think. Yeah, we'll see. So if black, for example, captures these two stones, then white throws in. Black could capture here, but then white captures this one, and black doesn't really have a good option here. Maybe if he plays here, white captures, and then nothing good will come out of this. And if black connects, then it's a gigantic seki, a whole board seki. And assuming the tiebreaker goes to white, like the half a point thing, then it's white's victory. So black cannot really play here. The correct answer would be playing here. White tries to block black, and then you self-atari. Yeah, we'll see. So white captures the whole thing. So it's apparently 6 stones plus whatever is here. But black plays this one, creating an under the stones Ishinoshita sequence against the A group. Usually you see Ishinoshitas with shapes like this, or sometimes there is an extra stone like this one. But when we have this stone, it is kind of surprising to me. I don't think I've ever seen a problem with this extra stone on a 19 by 19 board. Maybe I'm just not that experienced on Ishinoshitas, advanced Ishinoshitas. And yeah, so white captures 6 stones, but since black gets the whole board, everything dies on this board for white, then black wins anyways. So this one is a kind of a symmetrical problem, and usually you play on the axis of symmetry. Uh, for example, I think this one would be the axis of symmetry, even though this side isn't exactly this other side, but it's symmetric enough. Usually this one will be the answer for the problem, which simplifies things quite a bit, but it's still kind of tricky, I think, because after white plays here, you kind of get undecided if you're gonna play here or here, right? If this one is symmetric. So if you play here, then white will connect. You can play this one, but then you get captured. And if you capture on the other side, white saves the stones. And you can never save this one stone, but it will guarantee white its second eye. So yeah, you should play here. But now, how does it continue? So you play here, then you block, then white can connect, but it's a big eye versus a small eye, and or white already has only one liberty. So this problem is a bit of a mix between a ko and not allowing your opponent to take an eye on a 4x4 board. Taking an eye on a 4x4 board can be a game changer, yeah, in many sequences. If you play this one, white will push here. Black can try to start a ko, but there are no ko threats on this board. So yeah, that won't work. Black cannot even connect here to what else? So if you play, for example, this one, white can just connect, and you can try to take away its eye, but then it becomes a seki. If you play here, white takes an eye. And then I think there is still this one as well. So then white will play this one, and there isn't much black can do, I think. So if you get out here, you just cannot capture. So the only answer is this one, but you still need to not pay attention, but yeah, think a little bit ahead, because if white plays here and you poke, it kind of looks like a ko again, but black captures and white can never connect. So this is another of the many techniques that you need to master in order to master the 4x4 size. It's the fact that there are not many co-threads on this board, almost no co-threads on this board actually. So white would need to pass, and then black can capture the ko and end the game. So I've gathered 3 extra problems from one-on-one weiqi. Let's take a look. So this kind of looks like a ko, but can black win directly, or can white maybe find a threat? In the past 1 or 2 problems, we saw that it's very difficult to come up with ko threats on a 4x4 board, but who knows? So if white plays here, then black pushes and tries to start a ko. But white does have a ko threat. White can play here, because otherwise if black connects, everything dies, or black does something else like this, then white can finally capture, and now black's the one who doesn't have a ko threat, even though he captured first. And this is the answer, actually. What else is there? So white could play here, but then black turns, and he basically has an eye, and white will never get his. What else? So maybe this one is kind of tricky, but this is kind of a, oh, if you play here, then it kind of gets to the same variation. So black could play here, and then if white tries to maybe take away black's eye, then black can start the ko, and now white won't have a suitable ko threat, no ko threat. So this Tsumego is also in Joe's book, but I just don't remember the page. You can find all of Joe's Tsumegos inside 101 weiqi. They have transcribed it all, and I think they transcribed more than one book. I just don't know if the other books are from Joe. You can only find one of Joe's book or books inside Amazon Japan. I couldn't find more than one. But anyways, let's try to solve this problem. So here, if black tries to maybe take away white's eye or white's liberties, for example, like this, white can then use the shortage of liberties against black, and black will get a seki. Depending on Komi, black will probably still win because white needed to throw in many stones in order to get a seki. But this is not the solution. This is not the ideal case. The ideal case would be black doing this one. White can block, but then black blocks as well, and while taking an eye. And now white can't do anything from either side. It's a double charge of liberties again, but black will be able to either poke at A or B whenever he wants. So black captured everything in this variation, and this is the answer.